in my living room. I've been working out a week. I gotta wash my hair. It's dirty. It's sweaty. But I was listening to some news about a female employee of Trump, and uh, she was supposedly in the book that was written by the Wolf guy that Trump was supposed to be having an affair. And we know that from Stormy's interview, uh, right after it happened, that he does um, like to be with porn stars and such. And she said he went raw. So, uh, as far as I'm concerned, that's grounds for divorce. You get 10% of everything, Melinda. you know, you go you live up in Europe. No, only kidding. But anyway, from Trump's statements when he was running for president, he did allude to that he likes to grab women and kiss them. He throws Tic Tacs in his mouth before he does that. Um, and that, he just can't, and that because he's rich, women allow him just to grab him by the pussy, you know, and he can do whatever he wants. So, I mean, come on, do we really think that the way the Republicans are acting, even if they are saying we're Christians with family values, that uh, uh, any of them, especially Trump, does not have extramarital sex or and then I mean those Republican Christians really is embarrassing embarrassing America to the rest of the world because, well, first of all, Trump, I don't put it past any woman that that's under the age of 50 he's not trying to mate with, even though his years of I mean he's 70 something, I think a lot of these men are really under the illusion that because they find somebody attractive that of course that person finds them attractive. Like there's another Republican that wrote some letter. There's some lady with a soulmate. That shit is creepy as hell. That shit is disgusting. I've had that happen to me one time. This guy's like, "Oh, we're soulmates." He hadn't even introduced me, gave his name, and nothing about that, And I was not. If anything, I was like really put off. It's like that was a little bit too much. You know. So I can understand like her feeling very uncomfortable at work. You know. And she was probably a nice person trying to be nice, and then like, oh, okay, so he thinks my niceness means I'm attracted to him, But there's a lot of guys, they'll get real mad, like they're attracted to you. Like I'm working out, and like last Saturday, I call these type of men roosters because, he probably never was handsome, but now he's an older man and he's been working out, and there's a lot of women that go to work out and with the silver sneaker and and well anyway and so like he told me to get off the treadmill wrong, so I fell and I hurt my knee. And like I noticed like here in Memphis particularly, people that got whooped, they got really heavy hands. Like the lady next door, you know, before I knew she had cancer of the brain, I didn't know what was wrong with her. But she's always elbowing me. So like, and she left a bruise. So, and so I turned around, I elbowed her, and I'm like, hey, I don't like getting hit. I had to tell like 3 women that do not put your hands on me because I'll knock you the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? They're real heavy handed. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that now this guy's gonna think that I like him, but you know, I already told that the one lady that works there, and I'm like, yeah, the one that made me fall. She goes, yeah, I remember him. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna be there Saturday anyway, cause that guy, it's like my, and I got experience, you know, uh, and but like, I mean, like, there's some of the like, I'm not there. I'm there to exercise, and I don't want any like, ugh, I don't want no rooster. He walking around flapping his wings. Anything he's all that, you know. But like, he might be in good shape for somebody his age. I don't know how old he is, but you know, I would have to hurt the man and be like, "Oops, excuse you. I think I would leave me alone." You know what I'm saying? But it is mostly anyway. The men are disgusting. I don't know how low they could go, but they gone low. Sometimes I wonder like if like I was like seeing this like thing where this rat like as soon as it's born it just pretty much has sex and sex till it dies. I was like, that's anyway. A lot of these men they remind me of somebody that got their leg cut off and they always talking about that leg itch, you know. But mostly, you know, like these good Christians that want to do shit on the down low, and they love their wife. They don't want to upset their wife and the family because of their behaviors and their actions. If it gets found out that it would hurt their children and hurt their wife. So you know, uh, it doesn't matter that they're still probably bringing some type of distress or strain to the house because if you're with somebody else, that means that is taking time away from you being with the family, and they will notice that, and that, they're probably like, hey, where you been, like, and then you might get mad because you haven't thought of, or you might just have such a stupid lie. They'd be like, like if the lady ain't gonna call you a lie, that so it causes stress, and it's, so and men are dumb anyway sometimes when it comes to their sexual behavior, but and then women are just as stupid because the women at that place they acting like a whole bunch of like hens and shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, let me get this rooster. Because I could tell the way that lady looked that she was like she was looking like she must like him a little bit. And I'm like, yeah, I have experience with Christians like him. It's just so nasty and perverted. I wouldn't touch him. I don't care if they are, but the way some of those women are walking with canes, um, the vagina, looked like it had suffered, you know, 'cause, problems down there. So at least that's the way it seems. I don't know, and so and they got really anyway. So I just worked out all week, just on the bike and the treadmill, did a few universal weights, and that's about it. A week, nothing really changed yet because I didn't really burn enough, and I rested today. It's a little hard, but I got to work on this other side to figure out. Well, this is the left side. And figure out how I want to do it. But I'm just gonna say that straight out, Trump, from the way he talks and the way he's been said to interact with other women, like the 12 women that said that he sexually harassed them, that it's no way I don't believe that that the women that are around him are subject to sexual abuse. There's just no way that I could think. I don't think that Trump puts a positive image of himself. He comes off is sort of a perverted, racist, con artist, criminal, liar. Uh, that is a narcissistic, and his conversation is that of somebody the onset of dementia. Uh, and I don't care if he did pass the Rhino test or whatever it is. They should have gave him an IQ test. You know, that's what they do for mental evaluations is usually an IQ test. And there's so many different types that all geared towards the same thing. And so he might not have been able to get like the exact questions. You know, they didn't probably look deep enough for an IQ test. But you know, I think a very like which exact math question might be different. Your reading comprehension might be a different one from another one, but still the same format. You know, whatever. So and like some stuff like because like when I took one, there was this one where they like one part of the test where they blindfold you, and like there's stuff there like they have a dime, a quarter, a nickel, a safety pin, a paper clip, something else I can't remember, and but they're all like little things, and you're supposed to tell them apart. Well, I could tell a quarter from a dime because of the size. Of course, I could tell a nickel from a quarter or a dime because the nickel's smooth and it's bigger than a dime and it's smaller than a quarter. So like that was simple. I could you could feel it with your hands. Oh, I think one was a marble or something stupid. Now like that was just a really quick one, like part of the test. But like anyway, I think the only thing that saved me was science. And that's one thing they really don't like is science, the Republicans, because it's going to go against the oil and the coal industry, and that's why they got rid of they put a tariff rather on solar panels coming in, because people are making a lot of money, installing them in the United States and maintaining these solar panels. We don't really have factories anymore in the United States where we're building things because the factories went overseas to India, China, Vietnam, Korea, a lot of those places, Japan, they're all doing all the manufacturing over there. Mexico and other countries. So the United States is not manufacturing; we're consumers. Well, but they was making a lot of money on solar panels. And may I suggest, since these local electric companies, like I know they pushed back here because I wanted solar panels put here with like the $60 million that we're splitting with 3 other areas for a flood zone. I thought, but I mean, they're like solar panels, and one thing I noticed with these good Christians is they really go along with the propaganda. But like I'm gonna say like in Nevada or someplace and you invested in solar panels and they're gonna be charging you more, and then like giving you less money for uh, getting some of your electricity on the grid. I say go off the grid. Get a Tesla's batteries, and they're expensive, but you'll be off the grid, and you won't have to worry about that one headache. And yeah, it might take 5 years to where you're gonna have to pay electric bill regardless. So you know, you get a home improvement loan just for those batteries. You could go off the grid. You can run anything in your house, and then like depending on how many of these Tesla batteries that you have, you could go anywhere from 8 hours to 24 hours where they will hold that energy for you, and you know, and theoretically, depending on how many batteries you want, you could get probably up to 72 hours if you want to spend that much money on, but storing. And like I couldn't afford really to do it, but I was thinking about buying some of those ones that you could roll out. They had it on Amazon or whatever, but they stopped doing them. But like, if I could see people that are in the desert in Africa that have these type of solar panels and satellite dish, and they're off the grid, and um and they're supposed to be third world countries, but a lot of them are going solar energy in a lot of places. There was another place like um Mongolia like they were actually like in a heavy tent with a solar panel unrolled. Uh, oh no, it was one that was stuck in the ground that one panel, and they had internet and all that. So, and then they had a satellite dish too. So, um, um, we are way behind. We do look like we're way behind. We're still like pretty much like stuck in the 50 type of technology. Is just with it being manufactured in the Asian and China, etc. Part of the world. They're very knowledgeable in how to reduce things down uh, from one scale to the next scale. So we have the same stuff. It's just been smaller. TVs haven't changed it for stuff using like mercury. They're using plasma, right? It's a major difference. Um, so uh, they're really gonna screw up America, and it doesn't matter if they stop immigrants from coming in, or they kick all the immigrants out. Um, you could see with the Republicans, and you could see with like Trump, that our school systems not only have failed the black and brown community in a lot of ways, and a lot of it depends on the parents. How much time that are you going to helping your child. Most of the time, if you could just take 15 minutes out of your day, help them with their work, it'll really go a long way. But between work, dating, church, sports, and their own sexual gratification, the children are not really in there unless they're pedophiles. Anyway, that's another story. The kids might be able to interact with their parents with sports because you're watching it on maybe the TV in the living room, right? And kids, they really try hard to, kids really try, really like, really try hard to bond with, they, not that they want attention, but they need their parents for survival. This, their clothing, feeding, and housing them, and it would cause any mammal. I know if we want to separate ourselves from the rest of the mammals and the rest of the earth, and I think that's part of the problem, that we have a disconnection from the reality that we're in. You know what I'm saying? Because like, I don't know, might not be able to see it. Well, I'm driving a car now. I'm babysitting a car for a few months, and I was like, I guess everybody's happy. Oh, scratch my face. Lovely. Anyway, I just see that if we don't do something, I just see it's hopeless because the Republicans is playing some fucked up games that it's only going to benefit the corporations and the people that's been lobbying uh, 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 in white up in Washington D.C. like the NRA and all that. They don't care. We could have as many school shootings, as many uh, shootings in restaurants, as many shootings in hotels, um, or Las Vegas or whatever. You could have all these shootings, and they can't. They're stuck. They can't think of another way to do business, and I think it's up to the citizens that we're just gonna have to, because their ways is just devastating. What I was gonna say is it does. I regress. What I was gonna say is it doesn't matter, because as long as we're not really manufacturing and we're not educating our kids and we're making more money in the privatizations of our prisons and our jails than we are educating our kids. I mean, if anything, if they would say bring back the draft or something, these kids would have a better chance than what they have now. So, um, and yeah, I think Trump thinks that if a woman shows up there and she wants a job, that she might have to do a sexual deed. I think he's that low down, that nasty, and that irresponsible with his health. And just a low life.